Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first.
The history between these two men that might as well truly have been brothers from different mothers, Ron. The Rapture. I'll talk a bit about the background between Richard Adonis and Jay Sky and what they've done to each other since WWN Super Show Uprising, but it was just really a well-done recap video put together.
And his opponent.
That gave the background. We just saw this recap of some of the immediate history, but it still only scratches the surface of how long Richard Adonis and Jay Sky have known one another.
Weighing in at 230 pounds, the Hellhound.
Yeah, there's bitter hatred between these two men that considered themselves brothers, running the roads of the United States all over the Northeast and basing themselves out of Florida. But anybody that's seen these men compete as singles or tag team competitors knew they seen something special. You know, I told you from the very first time at the Special Events Center in Port Richey when I saw these guys. Again, you just know when they got it. And both of them have had it since day one, and right now what they have is absolute animosity for one another.
And I'm not surprised the second the bell rang, two caged animals going right at it as Richard Adonis having to egress a little bit, but you know, it's Jay Sky following right back out there. Ron, the history between these two, as stated, goes back a very, very long way, but WWN Proving Ground Monday Night Mayhem, all the way back February the 17th, it was a Rapture reunion. Even Jarrett Diaz was down from New York, teaming up with Richard Adonis, teaming up with Jay Sky, facing off against the Metro Brothers. It was really the past versus the present when it comes to some of our best trios in the entire WWN. And what happened after that matchup, oh, what a dive, God.
I like how Adonis, when he was thrown in the ring, had the presence of mind to just keep rolling, but unfortunately for him, Jay Sky hot on his heels and throwing caution to the wind, hurling himself through the air and has the advantage, but this is one of those, I mean, 50-50. You could flip a coin as far as I'm concerned, but forget about flipping coins, just leather to skull.
Yeah, continuing on, and of course I met the Miami boys, apologies there, in that six-man, and it was really the antics of Richard Adonis and especially the not just during the match, but the continued attack afterwards that got the rest of the team to tell them they needed to chill out. You know, it was basically like, hey buddy, I need you to have a moment and figure out what is wrong with you. And instead it was an attack. It was first the attack on Jarrett Diaz, then the attack on Jay Sky, and that's what set up these two at WWN Proving Ground Uprising, where it ended up being Jay Sky, the shocker with the win, but not just the follow-up from Adonis, but it was Adonis who attacked Jay Sky just a few weeks ago after a victory at Monday Night Mayhem, and just this past Monday it was the receipt here from Jay Sky, who was thinking one in the chamber to take out Richard Adonis already.
And how about that offensive flurry by Sky? This guy is just, he keeps up in his game. First time I ever saw Adonis, I always reference Austin Theory as far as a guy that just light years ahead of his experience level at that point, but his partner, Jay Sky, has really separated himself in the past year or so and is getting a lot of attention that I feel he's deserved for a long time, but spending a lot more time in the gym, hitting the road, but he's on the most dangerous part of the ring right now, Trevin.
Nothing good can come from right here on the apron. Jay Sky trying to put on the brakes, and the counter, but Richard Adonis lands in the ring and hits the spinning back fist. Could have knocked out Jay Sky.
Light Jay Sky up, and Adonis, again, this guy's seems like high risk is the game plan here tonight. Really set himself up as a target there for Jay Sky. If anybody should know, it's Adonis. Sky is the type, give him an opening. It doesn't matter what, he finds himself in. Hold on a second, he's biting
the wrist. We have seen Richard Adonis bite ears, bite hands. Our official Alex Schneider admonishing Richard Adonis, but oh God, the knee to the back. But the damage was already done here, Ron.
The Silver Snake earning that name, just taking his fangs and sinking them into the flesh of Jay Sky. I think he likes it. When I say he, I don't mean Jay Sky, because I can guarantee you he didn't like it.
No, definitely Richard Adonis, and we've seen Adonis definitely stoop to levels much different than the Rapture I once knew, especially when these two were on the same page. They were unstoppable. Former American Combat Wrestling Tag Team Champions, held gold all throughout our sport. But you know how it goes. Time goes on, but what shocked me again, I think it was just something that snapped in Adonis' head after that match with the Miami Boys, which, by the way, Rapture was victorious in. But it was the aggression, the unbridled aggression. Falcon's Arrow, could it be? Close, but not enough to put away Jay Sky. But Ron, what I was saying was the unbridled aggression coming out of Richard Adonis.
Yeah, when you see what he took, what looked like was going to be a vertical suplex, and just easily, because of that upper body strength, turns it into a devastating Falcon's Arrow. And Jay Sky's back was just wide open, and you heard the leather clap across the back. Guarantee there's going to be a welt raised on the back of Jay Sky, and Adonis talking just so much smack. Methodical.
Oof. And Adonis, their first matchup, arguably had opportunities to beat Jay Sky and took his time, kind of like what you're seeing right now, controlling the pace, trying to hurt Jay Sky, and that is how Jay Sky won the matchup. And of course, Richard Adonis left Jay Sky laying, and then, as stated, attacking him a few weeks later at Monday Night Mayhem. And thankfully, if you're a Jay Sky fan, Jay getting that opportunity. Look at the foot, on the back of the neck.
The ego, the audacity. Doesn't seem to care whatsoever these days about what the fans or the wrestlers feel about him. But again, sometimes you gotta wonder, all his showboating and just where's the anger come from? Head to head like two bulls, like two rams. Big boot. Turnabout's fair play, Trevin.
This guy's come back to life, and you said it, giving a receipt for each and every kick, and then some to Richard Adonis. And Jay Sky could be getting ready to hit that kick. No, instead hits the clothesline.
I think Adonis is trying to go for the clotheslines himself, but he's getting beaten to the punch 2 times in a row and just level. Oh, beautiful. Very innovative offense.
An exploder suplex tosses Richard Adonis, and you know these two know each other incredibly well. If there's anything that's going to help you be able to take out your opponent, it's having the playbook memorized. And there's that one in the chamber. Used to be their tag team move, and said Mafia kick rocks Richard Adonis.
I think Adonis is not a matter of if he loses this match, but when. And Trevin, it looks like we're about 3 seconds away from that happening. Cover. It's elementary. It's not elementary at this point, Trevin.
Silver Snake showing resilience. And it's to your point, the conditioning of Adonis lives up to that surname as Sky's kicked off. I've been impressed by Adonis traveling the world, UK, Netherlands, Germany, even spending time at Westside Extreme Wrestling, WXW overseas, to get better.
And that's not somewhere you just walk in off the street and say, hey guys, I'm here to wrestle. No. That's not how it works. That is elite level talent, and it has been for years, but I don't care how elite you are, Trevin. You take chops like that, one after the other. Look at the chest just turning to bruises and welts.
And you see the shape these men are in at this point. They have been full physicality nonstop from the get-go with this matchup. And for Richard Adonis, I'm telling you, biting the man again. This is getting out of control.
Trying to get his pound of flesh the hard way. Richard Adonis, once again, posing.
And wasted time up there, and here comes a superplex delivered by Jay Sky.
Jay Sky, firm control. Monster sit-out, powerbomb, cover, got a 2.5. Not enough, Trevin.
So close. So close.
But you know, Trevin, it's been said time and time again, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And both of these guys, look at it. Adonis seems to be laughing psychotically. He likes this. He wants the best that Jay Sky's got. He's asking for it. Asking you shall receive.
The fact that either man is getting to their feet after all of these strikes that they're throwing at one another shows the toughness of these athletes. And of course, it really shows something's got to give here. Terms like grudge match get put out there all the time, Ron.
Hey, how about the follow through on these Europeans, and now forearms and just right hands being thrown by Adonis. Sky throws a right of his own. Beautiful. Catching him.
Speed on no play, spiking the man. T-bone suplex.
Hey, out of nowhere. Left field, if you will. Both men feeling the worse for wear, but Adonis
exposing the knee, and whatever Adonis had in mind was stopped by Jay Sky. Able to hit the jumping knee. There's been so much physicality in this matchup. But look at the speed again of Adonis trying to another suplex. And instead, wow.
Snaps. Adonis onto the back of his head and neck. Jay Sky, beautiful super kick.
After that, Nelson.
Another, trying to decapitate the man.
And looking for perhaps Ghoul's Wings. No. Counter and folding Jay Sky inside out.
What a lariat. Just taking out Jay Sky, and the referee asking both men to get their feet. Now starts a count, and I hope he counts in French, because the last thing these people want to see is a count out. I think he counts in metric.
that I believe. Seriously, somehow Adonis is up. Jay Sky is up. And Adonis charges in, Jay Sky moves.
Can't keep a good man down, nobody home. Beautiful, those feet of Adonis, so dangerous. And Jay Sky hanging on for dear life, but he leaves himself wide open.
And running sit-out power bomb. Sky could be out. No!
The timekeeper with a look of shock and amazement on his face.
And there is the Ghoul's Wings. How many men have Jay Sky beaten?
That's gotta be it. But Adonis, look at, he finds his way. I think it's just muscle memory to roll himself from underneath the bottom rope, and he just drops like the sack of potatoes onto the floor.
It's the instinct, and it was a smart instinct by Adonis as Jay Sky comes charging out. At least for the moment, Adonis having an opportunity to recover. But not a very long moment, Ron.
No, Sky is showing all that hard work, cardiovascular-wise, paying off, because these guys have put in some serious time. Look at, they're just now both meant for the crossbody kick.
Wait, pin!
Here is your winner, the Silver Snake, Richard Adonis.
What a collision in the middle of the ring, and Adonis somehow finds himself on top of his fallen opponent. But Trevin, I mean, you're talking about car wreck type material at the end of this match.
The way those two men, their heads hit each other, I can't believe Adonis is even starting to get up.
No, and both of their ribs and chest and just, I mean, full speed ahead, both men. These are big men colliding in the middle of the ring, but what a win for Richard Adonis.
Damage definitely done to both men. You're absolutely right, not just the ribs, the heads colliding. You can see Jay Sky trying to figure out where the hell he is. He got hit so hard with that headbutt, and as you said, they had the same idea, both men charging in, and could have landed the other way. You'd hear Jay Sky's music right now.
But the impact of that collision on their entire body, but to ram your heads together at such a velocity and just sickening. It was like two bowling balls just smashing into each other, and Adonis is feeling it, man. What a, I mean, just huge landmark victory for this man, the Silver Snake.
I'll definitely give it to Richard Adonis, one way or the other, victorious here in this matchup, and it was really an even battle. Both men threw everything they had at one another, but now tied at one apiece, if you will, when it comes to one-on-one matchups here. Richard Adonis victorious, and hopefully Jay Sky got to get some medical attention when he gets to the back.
Hey, and I'm not the only one, I guarantee you. 1-1, I want to see that rubber match, Trevin. What a feud, what a story between those two.